Welcome to Formnext 2023, here at the melting pot of additive manufacturing worldwide. Welcome to our live stream of Formnext TV and welcome to the exhibition hall here in Hall 11 at the booth D72.
We are, by the way, Frank Jablonski
and Sven Krause. Sven, it's good to have you here on stage. Yeah, we are so glad that we're together here.
Absolutely. We will have everything for everyone. We have so many interesting product news. We have expert insights. We have fantastic keynotes, exciting panel discussions. And by the way, the most awesome lineup of experts on stage ever. So you shouldn't miss a thing. By the way, Frank, how can the people at the live stream participate at this event? This is possible, right?
Last year, a lot of people said to us, hey, we want to take more part in what you're doing on stage and we have our questions we want to deliver. And so we found a solution. This tool is called Slido, slido.com. If you move there, then you can ask your questions online and we have our devices here. We will have a look what your questions are and then we will give them to our experts. But how exactly does it work? You are more familiar with it than I.
The funny thing is, thanks to Formnext, it works absolutely seamlessly because if you are now in the live stream, you have Slido already in place. All you have to do is enter your question and it will be here live on our iPads and the next step will be live on our stage. So super easy to use. Make heavily use of it would be great for us to have more of your questions.
Yeah, and if you miss something, that's not a problem at all, because everything we're doing here on stage, every expert panel and every expert insight will be recorded and you can have a look at it at Formnext Media Library at any time you like. But we know, you want to go around and you want to know, to talk to your visitors, to your experts, to the companies. We have really tremendous show here in the next upcoming days, but there are some people who made it happen.
Absolutely, and those people we want to meet today. And so we welcome on our industry stage the responsible for the whole thing. Let me first introduce Petra Haarburger, president of Mesago and a self-confessed fan of additive manufacturing.
And Sascha Wenzler, the vice president Formnext, probably the most recognized name here.
Hi.
Nice to have you here.
Morning. Sorry. Hi. Hello.
Yeah, come with it.
Thanks.
Have a seat.
It's a little bit like coming home.
Yeah, it's like coming home on stage.
Same for us.
The year went so fast by, it's incredible.
True.
Petra, what does it feel for you to have this exhibition here? Last year it was on a point that if we could meet at all. Was it the same this year for you from the organizers' point of view?
I think it's even better because I think we're really back on track. And I think what the pandemic, which we all forgotten very quickly, fortunately, really brought is that meeting in person and really these encounters, the personal encounters, will never be replaced by anything. And I think this is what we really feel and see already. We already walked the halls a little bit and you already feel this buzz and people talk. And I think this is just what it's about. And so I think it feels even better because we're really back and it's wonderful to see everybody here.
Sascha, how does it feel? How does it feel for you? You were very busy to being back here. Yesterday we met shortly, and there were a lot of friends coming by and say, Sascha.
Yeah, it's the family coming back to Frankfurt again to meet here. The global community of AM is gathering in the four halls. It's a great feeling, and Petra just said it, and you can hear it already. That's the sound when the hall is buzzing, and that's always a very good sign for an exhibition organizer, especially guys when you think that the economical surrounding and the geopolitical surrounding right now is not the easiest one.
Yeah, that's a good thing that you mentioned, Sascha. So we can feel already the vibrancy in the halls, but the overall market status is not that positive this year, right? How does that affect additive manufacturing?
Yeah, at the end, additive manufacturing arrived in the industrial area. That's what all of the community here worked for many, many years. And now it's challenging several topics. We have an economic downturn affecting the mechanical engineering industry in total, and additive manufacturing, and the companies are part of it. So they are also in this downturn. The demand is going down, the investments are going down. Therefore, it's pretty important to have an exhibition and a trade fair like this, where everybody talks also about tomorrow. That's highly important at the moment. And therefore, this is the economical side. And everybody of us knows about the geopolitical problems we have right now in the world. There are 2 wars at the moment happening in the EMEA space. And also worldwide, there are shifting tendencies happening. So it's important for the additive industry to come together.
Yeah, exactly. We had some moves in the program here at Stage as well because of the problems or the wars that are worldwide. And so I think we can say our deep wishes are going to all the people who are suffering right now. And nevertheless, we want to have a good fair and good exhibition, but you cannot put it aside completely. It's always a topic in the normal news, but here we want to do our part doing business, right? Let's say when you look, you are responsible for more than one exhibition like Formnext. When you look at the overview, the economical affair, is it the same in each industry you are covering, or are there differences?
Well, as our exhibitions or our brands, let me put it like that, are all in the technology areas, I think most of them are affected somehow, some more, some less, yeah? But what we do see, and I think this is what you just said, is especially in these times, and we just had a press talk this morning where we heard very, very intensely how important it is, especially in times of uncertainty, to look into the future and to now gather to really maybe bring the technologies forward to the next level. Because I think lots of these things will also maybe solve some of our challenges that we have. Not all of them. I mean, it will not finish the war, unfortunately. But I think most of the things are really going into the future. And I think this is what we feel in all our exhibitions and all our brands who really drive technologies forward.
When we're looking at the market development, talking about additive manufacturing, do you have numbers or do you have the direction it's going? Can you divide it? You have a very deep insight about the international businesses because you are very very far traveled man. When I look at your LinkedIn profile. Give us some insights. How do the markets are developing?
Yeah, luckily we are able to cover the relevant markets in the world, being active in additive manufacturing with our local brand exhibitions taking place, for example, in China or in Japan or in the United States. So these are the most active regions in the world being active in additive manufacturing. And also what we learned today in the morning from the figures of our honorary sponsor, VDMA, having a lot of global export-orientated companies, there are shifts in the market. There are a lot of possibilities when we talk about the future, but at the moment the investments are not so high, the companies are reluctant, but this is a chance at the end for additive, because when you look into the manufacturing world, nearly everywhere are possibilities to implement at least one part of additive manufacturing process in different materials, in different steps of the manufacturing line, and that's where the chances are and where growth will come back again. for the industry, and that's what the industry is talking about here as well, to find these steps in the industrial world with all the challenges around it. So the current market perspective, it's not really a wonder, is kind of, I will not say pessimistic, but it's kind of realistic low, because also the additive guys are living in the economy. And
What would be the same in Japan or in US or in China or in Europe?
Exactly. When you also look at the growth rates, they are not so high like they have been. And especially for Europe and in Germany, they are even lower. But the expectations, and that's a bit different also what we heard today, the expectations for the future in AM, they are a little bit more positive than the rest of the engineering industry. So that gives also quite a good, I think, chance here at Formnext to go the next step.
I think this is the positive aspect we should focus on in the overall market situation, because AM will give a push for the economy in the future, for sure. Talking about international environment, tell us a little bit, Sascha or Petra, about the international activities. And of course, we need to tackle the topic of partner region this year. So what about the international activities of Formnext? You mentioned a little bit, and how does that lead to our partner region?
Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first. I think this is one of the, I would say, great advantages or our great strength of Messe Frankfurt in general. I mean, I can look into the audience and I see my colleagues from China there, for example, and I think this international network really helps us to serve the industry where it's needed. And Sascha just said, we always go where the markets are. So, I mean, I think this is also one of the important things. If you want to drive things forward, have a brand present everywhere. And you just said it, Sascha's everywhere. So I think you have to sort of push the edge everywhere where you are. And I think this is what we do together with our AM family, but also with our Messe Frankfurt family, because I think all of them are really, I would say, as addicted as we are. And I think this really makes a difference there. And also all the internationals who are here. You talked about our Nordic pavilion, which we have today, going for Nordic, is also something we always tried as Formnext to, if we have a topic or a region, we really look for what's different there or where are they? And I think we then come to our sustainability, I would challenge that we all have. And I think we know that the Nordic countries are far ahead there. And I think this is what Formnext always did. We sort of tried to grab the ones who are really upfront and make a difference. But maybe you have something to add.
That led to our partner region. So how came this decision for Nordics and not only one country? That would be interesting. And what is the key topic, as Petra already mentioned?
Sven, regularly we look at a partner country. So the basic principle, we call it the partner country principle. But when we also connect a partner country, maybe developing an additive manufacturing industry or being very active in the manufacturing industry, then there is another meta topic coming in affecting all of us, and that's the topic of sustainability. And when you also compare to the development of the last years and you walk around the halls, you will see more and more companies are incorporating the topic of sustainability, because also the customers are asking for it. And every industrialized nation, to be competitive in the future, needs to deal with this topic very careful and very sensible. And therefore then we looked, hey, we want also to cover this topic. Mm-hmm. And we want to cover it quite fair and transparent, and not to have a kind of greenwashing going on, which is also taking place, frankly spoken. But therefore we said, hey, let's have a look in the Nordics, and the pavilion is just neighboring our stage. In the Nordics, you have countries which are 1, 2, or maybe 3 steps ahead in the topic of sustainability, how to deal with the environment, how to take respect to the environment, and also industries working, let's say, more sensible even than in Germany.
And let me add, we will have tomorrow a panel with a Nordic expert here on stage. They will totally give us a good insight about the industry over there, and I know they will bring a lot of examples with them, a lot of applications for additive manufacturing. That will be very interesting tomorrow, mind.
Yeah, and in a nutshell, we said, hey, it's in this region. It's not only one country. Let's have a closer look at Denmark, Finland, Sweden, and Norway, showing all these things you will be concentrating on in the panel discussion.
Yeah, I learned in the preparation that they are working together very closely.
Yeah.
In Scandinavia, the countries have a good relationship with each other.
Yeah, so that was the reason for the region this year.
Very good, very good. So let's talk a little bit about the Formnext itself. So there's something new. We are here on the industry stage, which was before called the AM4U stage. Now it's the industry stage. Mm-hmm. Why it has a new name, and what about the new stage concept?
Yeah, we changed our the conferencing format at Formnext totally. So compared to the last years, we integrated the conferencing part, the content part, totally in the show itself, on the show floor, making it accessible for everyone. And then we divided it not only on one stage, but we divided it into 3 stages, covering different aspects. Here we are at the industry stage, so it's a perfect stage for covering the meta topics, for having the high-flying, high-ranking panel discussions.
We will have emerging markets like bioprinting, pharmaceutical printing.
Yeah.
That will be very interesting as well. So new industry sectors coming up.
Yeah, so these are really perfect topics for the industry stage here. Then the second new stage, or the next new stage, is the application stage, where we concentrate on the user industries. There it's much more room and much more time to make some deep dives in the application, and that's important for pushing the industrial discussion. That's the application stage. And finally, the exhibitors themselves, they have a possibility to show their latest technologies and products on the technology stage. So that's the principle of the 3-stage concept, like we call it, put in the halls.
Talking about the emerging markets and the industries, I know that you're very, very busy in getting representatives from the new industry sectors, from the verticals. How did you succeed this year? Are there some you brought to Frankfurt that were not here last year?
Yeah, so that might be a good opportunity to look also at the figures, because we really are happy in this, let's say, challenging environment. The total number of exhibitors from today's figure is 859. So that's even slightly bigger than 2019.
Incredible.
Which was the pre-COVID phase, an area where the growth rate only knew one way, which was the way up to 19, and there it was 852 companies. So we're really back in the 19 figures, in a not 19 world anymore, and that's impressive. That's really impressive, and we have even a slightly higher internationality, 59-60%, which shows also that AM, the global AM world, is coming to Frankfurt. And the other thing is the concept of the process is growing. And that's important for the industrial part of AM, because the days we only looked at the single machine, at the printer, they are not, that's not an industrial environment, you know this. So the process companies, the process offering companies in pre-processing, post-processing, material, surface treatment, software region. They are also in growing numbers coming to Formnext, and that's a good sign.
That's what we also see here on the industry stage during our program, that there's so many applications being presented that not only covering only a single part of the process. We have a lot of companies that are integrating additive manufacturing into their regular business, as you mentioned, like part of their production line. So this will be super exciting. Talking about exciting, what are basically looking at the program and this massive offer of information. Petra, what is your personal highlight you're looking for?
Well, I think there's two. One is when I look to the right, I think we have a real printer printing concrete there. So we will really build something there, which I think is really cool to see what can be done with AM. And I think my second personal highlight is actually what I already said, is seeing all our international colleagues, because this is what we just had. It's about meeting in person, about hugging, which I love, and just having them here and talking to them personally. I think this is such a gift, and I always look forward to it. As we have such a big international growing family also, it's great to have them all here on the spot, and we will have a great dinner with them on Wednesday, and I look forward to that as well.
Sounds like a good program. Sascha, what about you?
Yes, some maybe 1, 2, 3 points to mention. We also have a new baby here on the show floors, which we call the service provider marketplace. That's a very important part in opening up the technology to new user industries. Mm-hmm. Because looking back a couple of years, there was this high-flying message, like we talked today in the morning as well. Hey, there is a future where everybody will print nearly everything for himself, for herself, having only a printer. But that's not happening, and everybody is aware of this. So the real entry for new user industries is not the step, hey, maybe because that's not realistic. I have a lot of investment money and I can buy a new AM manufacturing line for my production just walking here around the show floor. Yeah, but this might be a plan, but maybe not the right plan. So we installed the service provider marketplace to come in touch with the service providers. They are the first professionals helping new user industry to get in touch with AM, maybe together with our seminars, Discover 3D Printing. But that's the right way. Then it's not so risky to try the things, to try the materials, to try the products. So that's our new baby here, with which we will push forward in the coming years as well, to have this important link to the service providers. And yeah, the second one is always my private best liked application are the medicals. So it's when you look at this fascinating field, it's
so you have to stay here at stage.
It's not the brain here. That might be.
We are not right. Just talking about brains, but I promise you, medicals will be a hot topic today.
Yeah, medicals is always incredible. What's possible, and it's really touching. Yeah. Body touching the heart, so true. That's a very emotional field. That's what I like very much.
We prepared an application insight video for Formnext recent days, and you can be prepared for next year. You will see some very interesting aspects from medical. The exhibitor is here as well, and they provide certain things to implement into the body that you grow much more faster, healthy.
Okay.
But we collected some verticals. let's do them together. Let make a full view, let's say. So you mentioned the construction industry.
Yeah.
We just mentioned biological and medical, so the emerging markets. Then certainly we have automotive as a very important topic. We will have tomorrow 2 experts here from the automotive area. What else?
Yeah, Frank, good point. The service provider area I just mentioned is also showing a special area of automotive together with Daimler, with the guys from Daimler Truck and from Krause to make it more touchable. What's possible with AM? So it's
and
automotive.
to show the collaboration between the automotive industries and the service providers.
Exactly.
How important it is that they work together.
How even the big companies work together with the service providers. And mechanical engineering, we have a special area from VDMA, also dedicated to sustainability.
Right there.
This year. So definitely a vertical highlight. Aerospace, always driving force. Just also over there at the end of the hall, Formula One car.
Yeah, I saw 2 this morning.
But aerospace, sports equipment, some really very high-end bicycles can be found around here. So the sports
I remember we had one year we had a very interesting Pomundus challenge with fashion. Do we cover fashion as well this year?
Yeah. So fashion is a really new upcoming topic, going even down to the fabric. So that's really also where the fabric can change the appearance. Aerospace guys,
Due to the geopolitical situation, unfortunately, defense is also a very growing topic at the moment.
Security and defense.
Security, yeah.
I can add too, by the way, talking about design, we will have a Design for AM panel where we have a textile expert inside the panel that will show us what is possible with 4D printing, not only 3D printing, but 4D printing. And we will have tomorrow someone from the Lego group here. And this is something super interesting to see, like the leading play or the toy producer is also implementing AM. Very good.
Yeah.
Covering more and more fields.
Yeah, it's a lot we can show here. It's not all about our stage. It's all about the exhibition grounds, walking around, having talks. Maybe we see us again. Thank you very much, Sascha. Thank you very much, Petra. Thank you very much, Sven. So we will start into our first exhibition day, and I hope you feel fine with us and come back to our live stage here in some seconds, some minutes after our expert insights, and for sure come to Frankfurt and visit the exhibition. We see you.
Thanks.